What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today I want to talk to you about Virgin Galactic. I want to give you a quick overview of some of the current data points, what's been really moving Virgin over this last little bit, and where it might be going from here. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So right now it is up 7.16%. So a nice kind of bump up. Interesting point though, there isn't really anything kind of driving it higher. So no news, no SEC filings, nothing along those lines. Last SEC filing that did come out was on April the 29th, and it was a definitive 14A. Which did signal that the shareholder meeting is going to be held on June the 12th, 2024. You do have to be a holder as of record date, April the 17th. So if you did buy it recently, then no dice. There's one sticky one. So of course you're voting on the 5 right here. So this one is just the directors, accounting firm, the compensation. This one, it seems to be the 2019 incentive award plan, but I think everyone and their dog should be very much paying attention to this. So a potential reverse stock split ranging from a 1 to 2 to a 1 to a 20, which given the circumstances, well, it's hard to figure out, but ultimately they're preparing for it to be sub $1 for 30 consecutive trading days. And I believe today is number 13, if I remember correctly. But ultimately you guys can just add it up together, but it does need to be consecutive. So essentially, if Virgin does have a lot of good momentum and is able to close above $1 in between the 30 days, then it resets it. So Virgin, especially with it at 93 cents and change, it can easily get above that, but at the same time, shorts are very much aware of that and love for companies to do reverse stock splits because it kind of just destroys them somewhat. Of course, the basis of a reverse stock split in among itself doesn't actually do all that much damage. It's what's kind of the byproduct of that, if that makes sense, because a reverse stock split doesn't actually change the market cap in theory. But still, 13.9 million shares have been traded, 17.5 is the average. A lot of the volume being done today is algorithmic trading, not a lot of long investors, as you can kind of see right here. Even on the dark pool, there's been no transactions today that's been over $100,000. So again, a lot of the volume that's been happening is just algorithmic trading. This news did come out a couple of days back on May the 1st. So it just says Galactic 7 mission launch window opens June the 8th. So fairly good stuff as far as that. Like I said, I'll give you a quick overview of everything because it's been a while since I've given you a Virgin video. So starting off looking at analyst ratings. So there was one that was about 11 days ago. Michael, who has a 63% success rating, did give a $1 price target. Aside from that, nothing really much. Of course, with their upcoming earnings right around the corner, that could really change everything and a lot more analysts giving ratings. But you do see earnings per share as a consensus, 8 analysts with a consensus of negative 29 cents. That's for the earnings per share. And then for revenue, you do see 7 analysts with a consensus of 1.92 million. Which is up slightly, so you do see one analyst a little bit more optimistic, at least in the short term, because they did go from 1.85 million to 1.92 million. And then aside from that though, just looking briefly at the ownership, so the latest round of 13Fs have been coming down the pipeline, and just to organize it, you do see some selling, some purchasing. Nothing overly crazy. You do see BlackRock increasing the position quite significantly, in fact, but it is to note that BlackRock, Vanguard, a lot of the big names in the market do lend out shares, which in turn is kind of alludes to shorting. So I know some people are jumping up and down the fact that BlackRock does buy their stock, and sometimes I don't think they realize the repercussions of that. So let me know your thoughts on Virgin. On a side note, if you're looking for a lot of good compiled information, such as analyst ratings, forecasts, even the latest Morningstar reports, take a look at Interactive Brokers for all this information to be completely free. Link in the description below and also the comments. And then obviously speaking on Morningstar reports, the latest one does show the fair market value being $2.86. But moving on, so let's talk on what shorts are doing right now this fun Friday. They're returning almost about 200,000 shares, so 196. 27.19% of the free float is being shorted. So over this last little bit, they have started to really go back to doubling down, as you can kind of see. So increasing quite significantly, not at the same level as it previously was, or actually, to be fully honest, is getting close to the 52-week high, which was previously July 12th, 2023. So shorts are slowly doubling down, and that is one unfortunate scenario when you do have no institutions really getting in, you don't have any support, shorts kind of act as a puppet. And so they kind of can dictate what does happen. So it's a very crappy scenario. The cost to borrow average is 1.42%, utilization 78.49%. And just to give you a quick overview, it does indicate through Interactive Brokers, 0 shares is available to be shorted. So interesting point. But looking at options with the market open about an hour and a half, you do see 76,000 in calls, 11,000 in puts. 52% of all the options being done are optimistic and bullish. So again, maybe some people are anticipating for it to be above $1, which you can kind of see. Looks like for even today. So obviously with it rallying as much as it has, some people are betting that it was going to continue, but without the actual support, it's just kind of fluff, if that makes sense. So with it right now at 93 cents and change, it is trading between this pivot and this R1. So some points to watch for: 86 and change is going to be the next strong support, and then 97 cents and change is going to be that next strong resistance, which it did bounce off of. So again, it is just kind of a crappy scenario. I do truly feel that Virgin is going to continue to trend down, because I think in the short term, there's no real catalyst or justified reasons for it to go up. So I do feel that they are going to ultimately rely on this reverse stock split. But as far as what ratio they do, anywhere from a 1-to-2 to a 1-to-20 is anyone's guess. It all depends on the stock price at the time. So yeah, it's a very interesting stock. I did at one time have a lot of high expectations for it, but I think it's just letting a lot of investors down right now. But on the actual chart itself, actually this is Rivian, so let's pull up Virgin. So on the chart itself, over the last 3 days, it looks like it's been wanting to transition into the higher percentile and really break out. Just it doesn't really have enough to get above that. And of course, by seeing this is a very clear indication that algorithmic trading is dictating what is happening with Virgin, as what you can kind of see in the past. So Virgin is just kind of stuck. Hopefully they do have something good coming out sooner rather than later, and maybe their earnings might be that deciding point, which is coming out after hours on the 7th, so right around the corner. So hopefully they do come out with something positive, and that way they can actually break out, especially above that $1. I think that is absolutely key, that they need to close above $1 sooner rather than later before they get deficient. So that's definitely a must. On the actual stochastic, you do see a bullish deviation, so white line above the red, but it is at 53, so it is somewhat neutral now, not considered oversold or anything like that. So kind of just take note of that. But number of retail investors have been getting in over this last little bit. So if you are one of those individuals that has been averaging down or just buying Virgin, give yourself a shout out in the comments. Definitely do deserve it. It is a very risky stock, but like I said, at one time there was a lot of high expectations, and that was at like even $2, like crazy stuff. And I've been covering Virgin for a very, very long time. It's been a very bumpy road, as you can kind of see. But hopefully with their upcoming earnings, they do give good guidance, because 2024 has been all about guidance. Sometimes the market's been forgiving for misses on earnings per share, revenue, and things like that, and just focusing on future guidance. So we'll just wait and see. Let me know your thoughts on Virgin. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. One final thing, take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it, and they do give you 7 fractional shares of the 𝗪𝗧7. So pretty kick-ass deal. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.